Well, the Yankees beat themselves last night, and congratulations to the Dodgers winning your 8th World Championship. You had a great team, and you were the better team in this World Series. But I also do think the Yankees beat themselves more often than the Dodgers beat the Yankees. So that's frustrating, and I can see a lot of the fans are frustrated. Of course, we all take this with us. We take it's a gut punch for all of us, right? And they had an opportunity last night to close it out and on it. They kind of mentally fell apart and physically fell apart, and whether it be a combination of some guys being gassed and then just not being mentally locked in. Once those errors started to happen in the 5th inning, kind of floodgates just opened, and the Yankees never recovered from it, unfortunately, which sucks. It absolutely sucks. So, and we could spend all the time blaming this, blaming that. It was a collective team effort, Cole pitched his heart out, but a lot of people think he didn't cover the bag there. Part of it, I think, is because he was gassed, but I don't disagree that he should have covered the bag. But I also think Anthony Rizzo should have hustled towards the ball too, not waited for. Those guys were not in sync. They were not in sync at all, Cole and Rizzo there, and that's an unfortunate thing, And look, in a silver lining part here too, like there's a lot of guys that are not going to be back next year, right? And we're going to talk about our off-season plan and free agent predictions. We're going to do a dissect the Yankees, but just off the top of my head, the Yankees need to add some mental toughness here. This off-season, they need to add a little bit more athleticism. They need to add some guys that work the count. Okay, and we can spend all the time saying fire Boone, fire the third base coach, fire this, fire that, but the reality of all that happening is slim to none. So how can we be constructive in other ways? How can we surround Aaron Boone with a better team? This is the first time he had a team this good. They went to the World Series. They didn't win it, but they went to the World Series. So, but now what do they need to do to get back there and to actually take the next step and win the World Series? I think we need to add another star to it that you can give some length, like Garrett Cole did. And he stuck in there. I mean, almost went. He was 6 2/3 and pitched his heart out. He really, really did. I'm not gonna let that one miscommunication with, with Anthony Rizzo just wipe out everything else that he did. I don't do that. Some people do. I don't. So, but with that said, I mean, they got to clean some things up. That was a not ideal throw from Anthony Volpe to Jazz Chisholm. That was a very sloppy miscatch by Aaron Judge in center field. And there was many ways the inning could have been over, and the Yankees could have probably sealed the deal in other ways. Luke Weaver was gassed too. He's never been at this level that many times, so you could tell he was gassed. We need to surround him with more high-end relievers, whether it be through free agency or trade and so on. I mentioned Tanner Scott. I mean, they signed the guy the other day. I think adding another feisty, so maybe a super utility guy, kind of like that's like Tommy Edman, would be a good idea. If we're not going to play Oswaldo Cabrera that often, let's try to trade for somebody like Brendan Donovan. He's a guy I've been talking about for 2 years now from the Cardinals. And they might need to add some pitching on the cheap. We can start with the Nestor Cortez package there. And there are ways that this team can get better. Well, I'm going to give you my broken down blueprint plan. I'm going to give you every avenue why. I'm going to give you, if Soto stays, if Soto leaves. This is a lot of stuff. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you're not done that yet, because we're going to get into all of it. And I thank you so much for your support. I thank you all that's been, everything you've done this year. We had a great year. A lot of fun on the channel. And I don't want it to end. So we're going to continue to add content. Obviously, we're covering football. So if you do subscribe, if you're subscribed, just make sure you hit notifications. That way you'll know exactly when we're going to be doing stuff. And again, your support really means the world. I thank you all for it. But this is unfortunately the way the cookie crumbles in baseball. Being around it for a long time, momentum has a significant part in the playoffs. Teams get momentum going up, they get momentum going down. Sometimes they'll crash into teams that alter their momentum, just like the Yankees did. They collided with the Dodgers that altered their momentum. It is what it is. You know how many times that other teams have collided with the Yankees that altered their momentum? The Yankees aren't used to this. So maybe they needed to get their butts kicked a little bit like this, right? Maybe, it's a little bit of a gut check. Because, what do we know? We know Rizzo's likely not going to be back. Gleyber Torres is likely not going to be back. Clay Holmes most likely not going to be back. Alex Verdugo most likely not going to be back. Tim Hill's a free agent. Johnny Loizaga. Tommy Kahnle. So there's going to be quite a few guys that aren't going to be here next year, which is going to create opportunities for the Yankees. And I know they signed the pitcher last week. I reported on that. But if I'm them, I'm going to go after Tanner Scott. I'm going to try to go after Ryan Helsley from the Cardinals or something like that. 2 power arms here. Maybe one lefty, one righty. It's just to complement Luke Weaver. He cannot be the only guy with good lights out stuff. He can't be. We need more guys like that. And the fact of the matter is, we need more length from our starters, which makes it easier to deploy our relievers in a way that the Dodgers did. The Dodgers starters gave them length, with the exception of Jack Flaherty right there. But last night, they got length from their guys, which makes it easier to deploy the relievers in a way that you can continually do that. You're getting 6 innings out of your pitcher every day. You're only basically throwing 3 innings with your bullpen. You can use multiple guys, and it's easier to recover from them. Instead of not making it through 2 or 3 and then relief pitching having to throw 6 or 7 innings. That is not a recipe for success. It's worked before, but it's not a recipe for success. And the Yankees need to add bullpen depth here. Really do. And I think some mental toughness would go a long way for the Yankees too. Right? And let's be here. Get out of here. Mental toughness and contact hitting. I know some folks are saying we need contact, we need power. We need guys if they have the power, we need guys that are going to utilize it at the right time. We need guys that are going to work the counts. We need guys that are mentally tough so that if they get frozen, they come back the next at bat and say, you know what, I'm going to get you next time, and so on and so forth. Who aren't going to be in their own heads. Because it looks like the Yankees were in their own heads a lot this series. It looks like the Dodgers were too much for them. And their body language, to me, told us that. So what do the Yankees need to do? They got to add to what they have. First and foremost, obviously, the most obvious thing is bringing Juan Soto back. There's going to be a lot of chatter about him going with the Mets, the Dodgers, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if you saw, but he was the last guy to leave the dugout after New York, after the Dodgers celebrate, after everybody was left. He stayed in that dugout last night all by himself, and then he pointed up to the heavens and thanked whoever he thanked, and it's pretty clear that he loves being here. So if I'm the Yankees, I'm going to got to do whatever you can to keep this man. And I would not hesitate to get him involved in the decision making. Say, Juan, we want you back. Who do we need to surround you with? Who do you think we need to add to this team? Doesn't hurt to ask. You get Cole's input, you get Judge's input, right? Well, Soto's just as much of a decision maker. An impact maker as they are. Can't hurt to ask the guy. At least get some information, get some insight from him. So that's what I would do. But again, I'm not a manager of the Yankees. I'm not the owner of the Yankees. I'm not the GM of the Yankees. But I would definitely want to get his input as to who do we need to add to complement you guys that are going to get you over to the next step. Because they're not that far away. It's pretty obvious. They beat themselves more than the Dodgers beat them. We talked about this every game. There's a lot of undisciplined swinging, a lot of undisciplined relieving runners on base. Bats got cold at the worst time. It just is what it is. It is what it is, right? And it sucks, yes. Are we frustrated about it? Yes. And how many times am I going to say, they're a failure. They did this and so on and so forth. Beating a dead horse. Everybody knows it already. Okay? We're all licking our wounds, unfortunately. Which, that's a painful thing to say. It's a painful thing to be dealing with. I get it. Totally get it. I don't want to deal with it any more than you do. But we are. So, that's just it. Right now, at the top of my head, just dissecting what happened last night. I do think the Yankees beat themselves more than the Dodgers beat the Yankees. Okay? And people can rant all they want, man. It's always welcome on this channel. Say what you're gonna say. Join the live streams, right? Vent the frustrations. I'll probably be live Saturday night, dissect some things. I'll have a. I'm gonna do probably one of my videos live on Saturday night, and then maybe I'll open it up afterwards for an open panel. But we'll see. But if you were to, if I were to ask you guys and gals, if the 4 or 5 moves that the Yankees and kind of blend, kind of residing on planet Earth here too, 4 or 5 moves that the Yankees could do to take it the next step into the World Series. In your mind, what would they be? I want to hear your thoughts. I want to get your perspectives. I want to learn from all of you. All right. Again, thank you so much for giving your constant input and always being with us, being part of the family here. We want to continue to grow the family. We're knocking on the door of 22,000 subs, so that's our next goal. It really is the next goal. So, and I got love for all of you, every single one of you. So, let's keep this thing going. Let's keep this thing going. So, it's going to be a lot to look forward to as well. But we're going to, be hurting for just a little bit. I totally get that. How can we not? How can we not? So, give me your thoughts, gang. Have a good day, everybody. Peace and love to all of you. I'll see you next time.